Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek News. I'm here with Victor from Egert Spiele, looking at Time and Space, exploring Time and Space, by Tobias Stapelfeld. This is a new version of Space Dealer.
It is.
It is. Very new. I mean, it looks quite different. So what's been kept the same and what's new? How has it developed over time?
So it's still the nice mechanism with the send timers. So each player has 2 send timers. It's a real-time game, 30 minutes. Each player plays at the same time with 2 send timers. To perform an action, you have 1 send timer, it has to run through, and then you can perform the action. So that's the main mechanism which was always great and which we kept. There were 3, maybe 4 problems with the older game, as people told us.
Right.
For one thing, it took longer to set up than to play. Usually, you have the 30 minutes you play, but you had all these things to
board
together
and
and so many things to do. Now we just have one board which you set up like this, and it's no problem. So now you only can play it with 3 and 4 players. So there's a side for 3 players, one for 4 players. And in the old game was you could actually, if you had 2 games, play up to 8. But now it's only up to 4. There was the problem that you don't have much interaction. Everybody did, of course, their thing with their send timers and didn't look quite what did the other players do. You couldn't really interact with them. You had demand on your board, which was most of the time rather random why you had it, and you didn't really, and nobody knew at the end what did I get points for and things like that. So now we have something where you really exchange points from the one hand to the other. So everything is always, you can really follow what did happen. That was the second thing, and the third thing I don't remember now. but
the name.
Yeah, that was a problem too. The Space Dealer, we couldn't use it anymore. But sometimes it was in the first print run. The send timers didn't really work. Some were 40 seconds and some 80. But I think this time it should really be 1 minute more or less.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So what are the basics of play for people who are new to the game or don't know it? What are we doing in here? What are we trying to do, and what's the gameplay?
What we're trying to do is to produce goods on our planets and deliver them to the other players. And these other players have to have a demand for the goods that we deliver, or we can't deliver them at all. And this demand is also the points that you get at the end of the game. So each player has quite a few of these. It's 4 different kinds of goods which you have to deliver to them to get these orders done. So this, of course, corresponds to this one. So I can produce on my planet. If I place a send timer there and it runs through, then I can produce whatever is shown there where I placed it. So if it runs through here, I can produce a brown one, put down there. So this one is produced. But this one I can't deliver now because at first I have to put them in the beam stations. So maybe I produce this at some point and then I put my send timer here. If this one runs through, I can put these 2 in there. These are the beam stations. In the moment where I put them in there, I'm able to deliver them to other players. So how do I get to other players? I take my ship, put it in the middle, and my send timer goes on there, and if it runs through, I arrived at the next planet. So they are connected to wormholes. That's the way I travel. At the moons, there are also upgrade tiles which I can use to make my board more efficient, for example. So I have to go a while, next time this way, then maybe this way. And as soon as this runs through, I arrived at the blue planet, and I can deliver blue what I have in my beam stations.
Okay.
Problem is, blue must have the demand for it. So at some point he must have placed of his blue of the tiles he has some on his board. Okay. He does that with these white ones. So they are production plants, beam stations, and you could say these are order some trading kind of center where you
Orders at the
place the orders. Exactly.
Which again are acquired from the center.
Exactly. You can upgrade them to make them more efficient. Right now, if a center run through, I can only place one of these here on my board. When I place it, I have to place it on one of these spots, production spots or beaming spots. This means I reduce my ability to produce myself in this case, but I make a demand for the others. So it has to stay there until somebody comes, like him, and brings the brown one to me, so I can give him this brown chip. He gets it, puts it beneath his board, and this is a point at the end of the game for him. Okay. So
and you get out of it,
and I now can produce again. Why do I want to provide the other players with a demand? Is simple. I can collect as many of these down here as I want. If I haven't gotten any demand of my own, I won't score at all at the end of the game, because if these are the ones I have to put on here, and I collected like something like that, so it's 3 worth 3. So I had to bring red three brown ones. If I did that, these would be 4 points, and because it's from 2 different players, I would get 8 points for that. Okay. So that's the way it scores. If it multiplies how many, if you get these kind of good to different players, then it multiplies times the number of players. So these were 8 points, but if I'm still have the demand tiles never brought onto my board and nobody could pick them up, I don't get any points for that. So I have to provide the other players with the demand to be able to score at all in the category. So each type is you score for each type separately. So I of course can choose. I leave the yellows out at all and just concentrate on the others. But I don't. If I have any brown here, I don't score at all down there, the brown ones. So you really have to see how you manage everything, blocking things at some point, and you have to talk a lot to the other players, which is the new interaction, which was a problem before.
Because what you're delivering, you're not going to score for unless you're also...
Exactly. You have to say, so I have 3 blues here, I want to deliver you with blue, can you please make me a demand for blue? And you have to talk to the others, and of course they can say, well, yeah, I will do it, and then they won't. Right. But in every game, if you screw somebody, they might screw you back in another way. Okay. So that's more or less what happens.
Okay. And then we go 30 minutes through the time.
It's exactly 30 minutes. And when the 30 minutes are over, the last ones that are still running, you cannot place another send timer, but as soon as all are run through, you can still activate this kind of action, and then it's over, and then you score it in the way as I said. So you look how many do you have here, and if you have any left of your own, and then if you have any left, they are taken out at all because you don't score at all, and everything that is left you score in this way times the players that you delivered, and whoever has the most points wins the game.
All right, thanks very much for the overview. When do you expect to release the new version?
Probably, I think beginning of May. But you can never tell for sure.
Right. So first half of the year, maybe.
Yeah, let's say that. That's
right. Second quarter. There you go.
That sounds good. Yeah, second quarter.
That's right.
I like that.
21st century. We're done. That's right.
Thank you.
Okay.